Good morning here, YouTube people. What is going on with you all today? Look, I'm planning to do a series here. Not really getting all that many dream requests at this moment in time, so I'm going to do a little something different right now. And what I wanted to do was talk about energy and vibration. We all deal with our own energy and our own vibration. You have positive and you have negative energy. The thing is you want to stay as well in your positive energy as you possibly can. And that takes a lot of work to do because there's so many people out here that will try to trigger you at all costs. They will try to start arguments with you. They will try to do whatever it is they can to take your energy away from you. Some of them will even try to spark up a relationship with you, even just to steal your energy from you and send negative energy to you. Those people are really kind of dirty and they play dirty pool, but the better way to do all of this, this is how I view it, okay? And to stay in the right type of vibration at all times. The best way to do this, look back in your life, especially as a child, because this is what I do. When I was younger, my parents were the coolest around, you know? They took us on camping trips and fishing and things like this and loving the great outdoors, you know? We had all kind of trips that we went on. Even as young as 2 and 3 years old, my parents would take us to Lake George during the wintertime, and the lake was froze over, and we would go out on the lake, and we did a lot of adventure type of things. So I thought of a time that I had that was like the most spectacular time in my life. Okay, um, it was it was probably about 7 or 8 years old, and I really enjoyed my time during that particular time, and it all made me feel really happy, and that type of happiness cannot really be matched with anything else. So if ever I get any kind of moments in my life where things just seem very hard and it doesn't look like I'm going to come out of feeling a certain way or whatever, I always go back to that particular time in my life. And it was a very special time. We were camping. I can remember we left. It wasn't Wakaiba we were at. It was at some other place. I don't remember whether it was Rock Springs or we went to several of those types of places, but I think it was Rock Springs. And we went to have a barbecue and this and that. And my mom always would buy the yellow mustard. And we went to where the springs were, and we were swimming around in that, and we were going to come back and have our lunch. And somebody had traded the yellow mustard that my mom had left on the table for glutens. It was a more of a golden type of mustard. Well, none of us ate that mustard at all before, and it was really kind of funny, but we laughed it off, and it was really a special time in my life. So, and I believe that is the time that I was fishing off of this dock, and I got hold of, I don't know what. It could have been a manatee, it could have been an alligator, it could have been just a very, very large fish. I was fishing, and all of a sudden something just grabbed my line, and it was pulling so hard that it pulled the fishing pole right out of my hand. Just so happens there were some divers around, and my dad, I guess, asked if they might go down where it was dropped at and see if they could find it. Well, they never did find my fishing pole, and you know it. But it was still an awesome time. I had a really good time during that time, and I think about it whenever I feel down, sad, out for the count, whatever you want to call it, and it boosts me up. It gives me a great feeling inside, like my energy just starts rising up. And it has to be when you're outside. That's when you feel the best, is when you're outside. I'm outside in nature. I'm in the city right now, but I mean, I'm talking about when this goes on. I go farther out into nature, and I really think about this very hard, and a lot of other times it happened to me. And it's just a special time. I know that a lot of people, they always think, if they're negative especially, they always think of the bad times in their life. And you really got to think of the more positive things that go on in your life, because if you constantly focus on what goes on that's bad in your life, it's just always going to be badness in your life. You're not going to achieve what it is that you're wanting to achieve, whether it be, you know, manifestation. Like I said before, on my Danny the Demon Slayer channel, you have to um, you have to bring it into perspective and say, okay, do I want to live the rest of my life in negative energy and low vibration? No. You want to overcome that. So think back. When is the most special, special, special time in your life? And live that over and over again. Even if it's, when you were a child, you can remember, your parents took you somewhere, or, you just, maybe you went to summer camp or something of that nature, that you had a blast. And you wouldn't give that back for the life of you. I mean, I, my father passed away in 2009, okay? Just to have my dad back for 5 minutes, just to talk to him, just to let him know what's going on. Because I said this before, he was my confidant, my dad was. My dad, I could always confide in him on everything that was going on in my life. And he no longer is around. So it's like I don't really have that person in my life anymore. But if you have somebody, you had your dad or your mom or whoever it was, and you no longer have them around, pray, ask God for another person to come into your life that you could actually confide in. Because a lot of us have struggles, and we think a lot of bad things, and we need somebody that is like a confidant to us. Here lately, my older sister has actually become my confidant. She's been sending me Bible verses and things like this that really rejuvenate my whole situation. I've had like a roller coaster ride. I've been here, I've done this, I've done that, and you need somebody that is going to care about you enough to, actually overcome a lot of what's going on within you, because everybody has struggles. We all have ups and downs. We all feel like, even if we're with people, sometimes we feel alone. You could be in a room full of 15, 20 people and still feel like you're all alone. But we all need that confidant, that person that we could talk to, and they would listen to us and then even give us certain advice, that's willing, that that is really right up the alley of what we needed. And it's better to do that and overcome a lot of this sadness and pain and, this and that. So if we could just do that and focus on the positive, we could bring our vibration and energy, positive energy, by the way, we could bring it all the way up. Be grounded, go outside, smell the fresh air. God made this world for a purpose, It's good to, to look at nature and what it is, Don't take it for granted. There's birds, there's all kinds of animals out here. And, when I was young, that was my thing, People ask me, well, what do you want to be? My teachers would ask me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I always said veterinarian because I love animals, okay? I'm an animal empath. That is one of my nearest and dearest things aside from people, because I always want to help people out. And, it's just me. But you have to learn who and who not to help out, too. Not everybody can be helped. Not everybody. Because there's people out here that wish you the very worst in your life. And, all they want to do is steal away your joy and your happiness because they're not happy. They have no joy. They just look at destroying yours. So the better thing to do is, like I said, take it outside, go into nature, somewhere that, you're not going to be bothered by a million people. Sit in a place and just think about it, contemplate it. Do whatever it is you need to do, but do it. And when you find out that it's working, just keep at it, Okay, so you say, well, I have kids. I can't go out here and do this because I got to watch them. Well, bring them. Go to a park. Have your kids play at a park while you're sitting on the bench and you are actually thinking of that moment, because everybody has one. You have a moment in your life that it was very special and you were the happiest you've ever been in your life. You have that moment. Think about that moment. Contemplate on that moment. Don't drag yourself down. Don't say, woe is me. I'll never get this done. I've never had a really good relationship with anybody. I can't even manifest money because everything goes wrong. I've had 1,000 jobs and all of them, for whatever reason, I'm not working there anymore. Don't do all of that stuff. Just relax, think about the past, and connect with nature. And when you get all of that done, you're going to feel a lot better about yourself. I guarantee that. And I am living proof of that. I have gone through so many struggles in my life. It isn't even funny. In my love, relationships, money, whatever. I've had problems. And I am living proof that it can happen. it can happen to anybody. You can actually overcome all of that and get back to where you once were. But I want you to know that I love you. Love yourself, love God, and by all means love each other, people. And until the next time, love, peace, and soul.